Welcome to the It's in Queens podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, and this is the only podcast that focuses on my borough of Queens. This podcast comes to you each week thanks to the Queens Economic Development Corporation and the Queens Tourism Council. Together, they work tirelessly to showcase Queens as a destination, one that's filled with unique experiences, cultural gems, and opportunities for everyone, whether you live here, you work here, or you're visiting. Spring is officially here this week. We welcome the first day of spring on Thursday. It is a season that brings new beginnings, blooming flowers, and a renewed energy to Queens. It's a special time when parks come alive with color and communities gather to celebrate the season's arrival. From the cherry blossoms in Flushing Meadows Corona Park to the vibrant farmers markets that pop up across our neighborhoods, Queens truly transforms in this season. And with the warmer weather comes an uptick in outdoor activities. Sidewalk cafes fill with friends sharing stories, local parks host outdoor fitness classes, and cultural institutions begin rolling out open-air events. Whether it's strolling along the boardwalks or exploring street fairs or enjoying a picnic in one of our very scenic parks, spring in Queens is all about embracing the outdoors and celebrating community. And speaking of community, I'm talking this week about an exciting event that's on the horizon. It's called Queens Rising. It's a month-long celebration that highlights the incredible talent, creativity, and diversity of Queens. It's a time when artists, performers, and cultural institutions come together to showcase everything that makes Queens so special. And as we look forward to that, we're thrilled today to have Nedelka Sotelo, project manager for Queens Rising, joining me. Nedelka is here to share more details about what we can expect from this year's festival, how it brings the community together, and why Queens Rising is such an important celebration for the borough. So let's dive in and learn more about this exciting series. Nedelka Sotelo, welcome to the It's in Queens podcast.
Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much for the introduction and the invitation to be part of this podcast. I'm honored. Thank you.
So I know we're going to talk about Queens Rising, but let's first start off by talking about you and your career in the arts. We'd love to educate our listeners about you.
Thank you. Again, my name is Nedelka Sotelo. I am a singer, songwriter, performer, and arts administrator. I was born and raised in Mexico City, and I've been living in Queens for about 8 years now. My passion lies in fostering artistic communities and creating opportunities for artists to thrive. I currently serve as the project manager for Queens Rising, and I also wear a few other hats. But as you mentioned, today I am here to talk about Queens Rising, a month-long celebration of arts and culture across Queens. I truly believe that my background in both performance and arts administration allows me to bridge the gap between artists and audiences, ensuring that cultural initiatives like Queens Rising continue to grow and make an impact.
And you know what? I've been in Queens for quite some time, so I've seen the evolution of Queens Rising. What, in fact, inspired the creation of Queens Rising, and how has it evolved since inception? Because I have my perceptions of it, but I'd love to hear it from you.
Yeah, definitely. So Queens Rising was born out of a collective effort to spotlight the borough's diverse and vibrant art scene. It started as a way to unify cultural organizations, artists, and venues under one single initiative. And we showcase the talent that makes Queens such a unique cultural hub. Over the years, it has expanded, incorporating more performances, exhibitions, and community collaborations. We began as a single month of programming, and now we've evolved into a year-round movement, fostering deeper connections among artists, organizations, and audiences.
And that has been my impression too, that it has grown and gotten bigger and better every year. One thing that's very, very important is that Queens Rising supports local artists and cultural spaces in the borough. Can you talk about that?
Definitely. Our initiative really provides a platform for artists and organizations to showcase their work to a broader audience. We partner with venues across Queens, giving artists some access to performance and exhibition spaces. We also help providing visibility through our social media, our newsletter, and community outreach. We also have programs like the Queen Scene Performance Series, where we offer paid opportunities for artists to perform and gain recognition.
And in fact, since you mentioned that, I want to jump to that question because there's a deadline coming up this Friday regarding Queen Scene Performance Series. Can you talk about that? Because anyone who's listening, they need to know they got to get their applications in quickly.
That is correct. Definitely. Please go to our website, queensrising.nyc. The applications are open until this Friday, March 21st. And this is a great opportunity for artists to, have a space to perform, to connect with the audience. It's a paid opportunity. So we also opened a call a few weeks ago for the venues. So we are in the process of selecting our steamed venues all across Queens. We're really trying to be broad. And yeah, so once we select the venues will be, also choosing the artists they want to work with, and all those artists will come from that poll that applied to our open call.
And that's about performance, but I know what's important to you as well is not making sure we should not be overlooking the visual artists as well.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for mentioning. We also will be we'll be doing our open call for visual artists. That's gonna be separate. Um, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be open very soon. Uh, and we will be activating the red wall of the Resorts World NYC
Ah.
Casino. So yes, that's where the gallery and the exhibition is gonna be presenting throughout June. Hopefully we are able to do a little bit more time, but at least that's our main goal. There's still a few more details that we need to confirm with the venue and some other logistics. But definitely it's an open call for visual artists. Also, if you have um, curation experience, please make sure that you state that in the application because that's super important for us to know. We are also, looking into a curator that can take the lead on this project.
Now, we're talking about the artists themselves and the venues, but what's really important here is the connection with communities. And I'd love for you to talk about how events like Queens Rising are very important for communities and for promoting arts and culture here in the borough.
Well, Queens is one of the most diverse places in the entire world, actually. And arts and culture are key to celebrating that diversity. Um, Initiatives like Queens Rising really bring people together, fostering a sense of pride and connection. They also boost the local economy by driving audiences to cultural venues, restaurants, and businesses. That's super important to us. By supporting artists and cultural institutions, we ensure that Queens remains a thriving and creative borough.
Now, I know that you have not locked down all of the events yet. It's early on, you've got a few months, but I'd love to know what might be some of the returning or new features, things that are being envisioned that might be a little different or highlights from previous years that you want to make sure people know about because they'll need to mark their calendars to check your website so they can go to these events.
Definitely. So we actually have a few important dates already in the books. So I'm just gonna share June 1st, we will definitely have an opening or something big, a
There
party.
always is. I love it.
There's
Yes.
always, yeah, definitely. We definitely need to have that spirit of we begin. Here it is. The party has begun, right? So please stay tuned. Definitely June 1st, we'll be doing something fun and creative. Most likely this will happen at the Red Wall. So I'm excited about that. And as every year, we will be also activating the stage at the Queen's Night Market. That's going to be on Saturday, June 14th. So again, the performances will be curated from that application that we get from that poll. So really, artists, please make sure you apply because I mean, who doesn't want to perform at the Queen's Night Market? There's like
You've
thousands
got,
of
I was
other.
just going to say, you've got a ton of people there.
Yeah, exactly. So really, make sure the artists, listen this and really apply because it's a great opportunity to just engage with the community.
What do you think makes Queens Rising so special compared to other arts and cultural festivals in the city?
Well, we are unique. Definitely Queen's Rising. I mean, a part of being a borough-wide um, collective, we are not confined to one single location. We activate spaces across Queens. That's what we do. We want to collaborate. We want to work with the community all over the borough. It's so big that we need to make sure that we are giving space and recognition to all spaces possible, from theaters to libraries, parks, and even small cafes or restaurants or bars, right? This initiative really reflects the incredible cultural diversity of the borough. And we like featuring everything, jazz, Latin music, dance, traditional folk performances. I mean, it's not only a an initiative itself. It's a movement that celebrates and strengthens our artistic ecosystem.
Now, I would think that an event like this or a series like this involves a lot of people, a lot of venues. And if anyone listening wants to get involved in some way, whether participants or volunteers or even attendees, what do you recommend they do? Because I know it's three different categories there, but I know a lot of friends of mine are always looking for things that they can do. They can volunteer as well. So I'm just curious about the myriad opportunities to connect with Queens Rising.
I love it. I love it. Definitely. There's always work to do, and as many hands can be involved, the better for us. So yes, there's many ways to get involved. Artists and cultural organizations can join by hosting the events or participating in the curated showcases, applying to the open calls, really making sure, the applications are there. Volunteers, yes, they play a huge role in helping with logistics, audience engagement, and event support, right? Like there's a lot of parts moving around. So if we can get some volunteers, we will be welcoming definitely these efforts. And the best way to participate is just by, simply attending and spreading the word about all our events. Yes, we are uh, all around all year long. We've been doing a few things here and there, but still, June has been our main focus for programming. So please stay tuned and go get involved. June is also a great month weather-wise in New York City. So please just come enjoy and spread the word out.
Now for you, when Queen's Rising ends, do you just collapse because there's so much going on? Do you take a vacation?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Every July 1st, I'm like, okay, bye. And I close my windows for about like 2 weeks at least. So that's most likely what will happen this year.
So, and before I let you go, Nedelka, if anyone would like to find out more, what is that website? Where should they go to just be? And is there a way to sign up for newsletters or alerts?
Yes, definitely. Actually, we have a monthly newsletter. It came out today. So if you are not subscribed, please do so. It comes every second Friday of the month. And you can do so. You can subscribe in our website, queensrising.nyc, and you can check out like the best way to be, updated. It's going through our website, through our social media. Instagram is really, that's our main social media platform. So if you are also an organization or an artist that want to, spread the word out about your event or something, just tag us and we'll repost it. And like that's within our networks, and we are here to support everyone. So yes, queensrising.nyc. Please subscribe to the newsletter and keep posted on everything.
I'm sure we will. Nedelka Sotelo, I want to thank you so much for appearing on this week's It's in Queens podcast.
Thank you so much. And right before we leave, I just want to really thank the people that make Queens Rising possible, right? So, Queens Rising's title sponsor is now Resorts World NYC, and we get major support from Northwell Health, Long Island Jewish Forest Hills, Howard Gilman Foundation, and the Max and Selma Kofferberg Family Foundation. Really, we appreciate so much their support.
And Nedelka, I'm glad you mentioned them. Always want to mention the sponsors and presenters. So thank you so much for appearing here on the podcast.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
This year's Queens Rising is packed with an incredible lineup of events that reflect the vibrancy and diversity of our borough, from art exhibitions and music performances to community workshops and cultural celebrations. There really is something for everyone to enjoy. Now, for the full calendar of events, details on how to participate, and more information about the festival, please make sure to visit queensrising.nyc. It will be your go-to source for staying up to date on all the exciting events that are happening this season. Don't miss out on the chance to be part of one of Queens' most dynamic and inclusive cultural festivals. If you're looking for something else to do before then, well, we have you covered. That is where Rob Mackay comes in. He's with the Queens Economic Development Corporation and the Queens Tourism Council. And each and every week, Rob highlights some of the more dynamic events that are happening in Queens. Here's this week's report.
Hi, Jeff. It's your favorite time of year. The holy celebrations are all over Queens, which basically means it's time for you to throw talcum powder and colored water at people. Holi, first of all, is a Hindu, it's basically a spring festival. We celebrate sort of light conquering darkness and good conquering evil. We also celebrate a divine love between two Hindu deities, Radha and Krishna. But Queens has tons of holy ceremonies, and most of them involve dance and music and food. Flushing Town Hall has one this Saturday. The big Fagua Parade is the following day on Sunday in Richmond Hill. That's the one with all the floats going through Liberty Avenue. The same day, Sunday, there is a performance at the Bayside Historical Society, and something that's not really related. It's called the Regini Festival. That's really an Indian and an Indo-Caribbean concert that's going on at Flushing Town Hall. And then next Saturday, March 29th, is the first ever Holy Celebration at the Queens County Farm Museum. In this case, they fully intend to run around the campus throwing colorful talcum and water at each other. All right, Jeff, I'll see you. Remember, bring a shirt you don't mind getting stained. All right, thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Rob. That's just a few of the things that are going on in our borough. Remember, the place to go to discover everything that's on the horizon and where you'll be able to keep tabs on Queens Rising as well is very easy to remember. It's at the It's in Queens website at itsinqueens.com. And there's another website you should know about, the Queens Economic Development Corporation's website at queensny.org. That's where you'd go to learn more about business-related news, how to help your business or a friend's business to make sure that they not only survive, but thrive in Queens. And when you're visiting either of those websites, make sure to take a moment and sign up for their newsletter. When you visit any place in Queens, and in particular, when you visit any of the Queens Rising events, snap a photo or two and share them with us. Make sure to use the hashtag #It'sInQueens when you post on Instagram or X, because your photo could become our photo of the week. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons. That's it for this week's It's in Queens podcast, and happy spring.